So the film is a sort of cosmic fantasia in a way. It is the story is there's a young man living in Tokyo who's very close to his sister, who he's brought over there, who is now working as a pole dancer and is having a relationship with an inappropriate gangster type. Very early in the film, the central character dies, and then his spirit then floats out of his body and then revisits both characters who are alive and in the world now and key events from his life, including a traumatic event in his past which has caused this particular bond with his sister. And then we see in flashback the events leading up to his demise, and we also see him essentially attempting to influence the real world in a sort of ghostly fashion. Now, because he is a spirit, therefore he doesn't observe the physical rules of the world. He goes everywhere, and because we see the film through from his point of view, we go everywhere. And in Gaspar Noé's world, the camera going everywhere means the camera goes everywhere. Do you remember that Vapors song, Turning Japanese?
Indeed, I do.
Do you remember the key line from that? About
no sex, no drugs, no wine, no women, no fun, no sin, no you, no wonder it's dark.
No, the one about, I want a doctor to take your picture.
Well, it's not as good as mine.
No, but anyway, it's almost like Gaspar has listened to the Vapors Turning Japanese and gone, that's a good idea. So his camera goes where nobody else's camera has gone before in every conceivable way. And we see the whole film from the point of view of this floating spirit. And it's an extraordinary sort of neon-lit version of the world, neon-lit version of Tokyo, but also of a world that is somewhere between this world and the next. The influence of the stuff that he's drawn on 2001 is a big defining thing in this. I mean, there's a reference, a very clear reference to 2001 in Irreversible. There is here the sense of that Star Child thing from 2001 going on, because a great theme of the film is whether or not his spirit is about to be reborn, somehow reincarnated. There is also very, very cod references to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, like dialogue which says, what's that you're reading? It's the Tibetan Book of the Dead, really? What's that about? It's about what happens to the soul as it departs the body, blah, 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 blah. It also looks like a hallucinogenic trip. I mean, the whole film has a kind of hallucinogenic, overlit, trippy quality to it. It's like somebody's playing classic FM turned up too loud in the background with these kind of strange classical interruptions, and the whole thing is orchestrated through I have to say extraordinary technical proficiency in terms of the way it's shot and edited and put together. I mean, it really is a film which has a vision and which goes places that other films don't go. The question then is, what does it add up to? I think, as with all of Gaspar Noé's stuff, he inhabits this world which is somewhere between art and exploitation, which is somewhere between adventurous examination and straightforward sort of grindhouse sleaze. I mean, wherever you are in a Gaspar Noé film, you're never far away from something sleazy. If you read the censor's report, incidentally, it will detail exactly for you what I'm talking about in that area. But all you need to know is essentially he goes everywhere. He has an obsession with the mechanics of hardcore. He's talked recently about the idea that he wanted to make an erotic film in 3D. That's and frankly, I wouldn't put it past him. What it all adds up to philosophically, oddly enough, is actually not very much more than Eat, Pray, Love. I mean, it's weird because for a film that's so stylistically adventurous, it really has a fairly kind of boiled down cod philosophy working underneath. And actually, if you read any interviews with Gaspar himself, people said, people have said, obviously I've read the Tibetan Book of the Dead and embraced it. It's like, no, he hasn't. He's just sort of seen it. And it's like, that's an interesting plot point. Let's have a go at that. Let's see what the soul would look like if the Tibetan Book of the Dead is true. And incidentally, I was watching 2001 the other day and I'm feeling a little bit hallucinogenic. And we haven't been in a strip club for the last 5 minutes. Let's just go in there for a while. And the whole experience is fairly head scrambling. When I first saw it, I did a blog immediately afterwards in which I was trying to sort of gather my thoughts. I mean, it's a movie that knocks you down. I mean, it's a full-on sensory experience, and it's a little bit like being art mugged. All this stuff goes on and rattles around in your head. You go, wow, and then when you try and assess afterwards what it all adds up to, it doesn't really all add up to very much, but stylistically, it's it's the cinematic equivalent, I imagine, of what it must be like taking hallucinogens, because everything is too bright, too wild, too weird, too so great. But afterwards, it's a little bit of a, we're all a bit, aren't we? And actually, and in the end, the journey of the departed soul is pretty much the same journey as the journey of the Julia Roberts character in Eat, Love, Pray, Vomit, whatever it is, which is that, hey,
are there any
you know what?
Are there any front buttocks in this film?
Oh,
Lots.
Front, back, side, up, down. I mean, there is no part of the physical world that is not thoroughly examined in Gaspar Noé's. So it's full on. It's distinctive. It's ambitious. It's empty. It's overlong. It's noisy. It's exploitative, and it's arty in all the same way. And it's like putting you know what it's like doing? It's like putting your head in one of those machines that makes candy floss.